You have counted the same few dollars more times than you would ever admit to anyone. I saw you at that kitchen table, late, doing the math again, moving the same small numbers around, hoping they would come out kinder this time. I saw every one of those nights, and I never once looked away. And tonight, beloved, that arithmetic is about to change forever. Stay with me. Put the worry down for just a moment. You can pick it back up in 5 minutes if you want to, but for right now, set it on the table and leave your hands empty. Open them palms up in your lap, the way you would if you were about to be given something. That small gesture is a prayer all its own, and heaven can see it. I am not asking you to understand how this works yet. I am only asking you to keep your eyes here on these words, because for the next few minutes, heaven is bending low over the very lack you have been carrying, and I have something to say to you that I have waited a long time to say. This did not reach you by chance. There are no accidents in my kingdom. Out of the thousands of things that could have filled your screen tonight, this one found you, and it found you while your accounts are thin and your heart is tired, and you are wondering if anyone up there ever noticed how hard you have been trying. I noticed. I have noticed all of it, every quiet act of going without, and I am not finished with your story. In fact, the best of it has not been written yet. Before I say another word, press the like button, quietly, the way you would reach out and take the hand of someone you trust in the dark. This is not for a video. This is your first small yes to what I'm about to do. This is faith moving before your eyes see one thing change. The hand reached out in the dark before the light comes on. Do it now, quietly, and then come back and let me tell you what I have seen with my own eyes. Let me tell you what I remember, so you will know it is truly you I am speaking to. I remember the dream you laid down because there was never any money for it, the thing you always wanted to do and quietly gave up on. I have not forgotten that dream, and I have not thrown it away. I remember the prayer you prayed in your hardest month, the one you were sure went unheard. I remember the promise you made to me, that if I ever brought you through, you would use it to help others, and I have kept that promise on file, because I intend to give you the chance to fulfill it. My child, I have watched you go without in ways no one around you ever knew. I saw you put the item back on the shelf and tell yourself you did not really need it. I saw you fill the cart in your mind and empty it before you reached the register. I saw you turn the thermostat down to save the few dollars and put on another sweater and call it fine. I have counted the times you said I am not hungry so that someone else at the table could have more. I have counted the small no's you told yourself, day after day, year after year, so quietly that no one ever heard them but me. I saw you become so used to going without that you stopped even noticing it, the way a person stops noticing an ache they have carried too long. I saw you make peace with less, and I honored the grace in that, but I never wanted it to be your permanent portion. I kept a record of every sacrifice, not to weigh you down with it, but because I intend to answer every one. Heaven has a long memory for faithfulness in a hard season, and yours is written in full. I saw you count out the exact change at the register and feel the eyes behind you in line. I saw you choose the cheaper thing and tell yourself you preferred it. I saw you drive a little farther for the lower price and skip the thing you truly wanted and buy for everyone else before you ever thought of yourself. I saw you patch and mend and make do, wearing the same coat another winter, fixing what should have been replaced, stretching a little into a lot, with hands that had grown so practiced at going without. I saw you lie awake, calculating which bill could wait and which one could not. I saw you rob one week to cover another, always a little behind, always catching up, never quite ahead. I saw the quiet dignity with which you carried it, how you never let the strain show at church, at the store, on the phone with your children. You wore your worry on the inside, where only I could see it, and I saw it, every day, and it moved my heart. I saw the mornings you woke already tired, the money the first thought before your feet touched the floor. I saw you carry it into church and lift your hands and worship me anyway, praising me from the middle of the lack. And I tell you that praise did not go unnoticed. It rose up before my throne like the sweetest offering. Because anyone can praise from abundance, but you praised me from an empty cupboard, and that is the faith I reward. I saw you open the envelope with the bill inside and feel your stomach drop. I saw you stack them on the counter and move them from pile to pile as if rearranging them could make them smaller. I saw you sit with the phone in your hand, working up the courage to call and ask for more time. I saw the shame that washed over you when you had to ask, the shame you did not deserve, because there is no shame in my eyes for a faithful heart in a hard season. I saw you carry the weight of the money and tell no one, because you never wanted to be a burden, because you have always been the one who carries, never the one who is carried. I saw the birthdays and the holidays when you wished you could give more, and you gave what you could, and you wrapped it with love that cost more than money ever could. I saw you watch others spend freely and feel the quiet sting of it, and choose not to be bitter and bless them anyway. I saw you do without the small comfort, the little treat, the thing that would have made your day easier so that the money could go where it was needed more. You have denied yourself so many times for so many years that you forgot you were ever allowed to be first. Heaven did not forget. Heaven wrote it all down. I saw you give even when you had the least to give. I saw you slip the little you had to a child, grandchild, a friend in trouble, and then quietly do without yourself. I saw you drop your last few coins in the offering when your own cupboard was nearly bare, and heaven leaned forward and watched. Because I never forget a gift given from an empty place. I saw you keep tithing, keep praying, keep believing in a lean year that gave you every reason to stop. You did not stop, and I saw that too. I saw you learn to live small, to want less, to expect little so that you would not be disappointed. I saw you stop looking in the windows of the shops because it hurt to want what you could not have. I saw you become an expert at contentment out of necessity, and I saw the difference between the peace I give and the resignation the hard years forced on you. You settled because you had to, but I never meant for you to merely settle. I made you for more than survival, and I am about to prove it. I saw the nights you lay awake and did the arithmetic in the dark, adding and subtracting, stretching and cutting, trying to make what was not enough somehow be enough. I saw you get up in the morning tired from a sleep that never came and put on your face and go out into the day as if the worry were not sitting on your chest the whole time. I saw you smile and say things are fine when the truth was that you did not know how you were going to make it to the end of the month. I was there the day you sat in the car in the parking lot and did the math one more time before you went in, hoping the card would not be declined. I was there when it was, and you felt the heat rise in your face, and you smiled and said you would come back later. I was there when you told your grandchild that you could not this time, maybe next time, and you carried the small ache of that all the way home. I was there in the long pause before you answered when someone asked how you were doing, in the half second where you decided again to spare them the truth. You were never as alone in those moments as you believed. There was someone in the passenger seat the whole time, and it was me. I was there the nights you added it all up, and it still did not reach, and you set the pencil down and just breathed, too tired even to cry. I was there when you gave anyway, out of the little you had and thought no one noticed. I noticed. Heaven keeps a different ledger than the world does, and in my book, every sacrifice you made in secret was written down, and every one of them is about to be repaid. I heard the prayers you prayed about it, the ones you were almost embarrassed to bring to me because they were about money, as if money were too small a thing to trouble heaven with. It was never too small. Nothing that presses on my child is too small for me. I heard the way your voice dropped when you prayed about the money, as if you were apologizing for asking. You never had to apologize to me for bringing me your need. I made the mouth that eats, and the body that needs shelter, and the heart that longs for a little rest from worry, and none of it, not one part of it, is beneath my care. A father is not annoyed that his child needs to be fed. A father delights to provide. And I have delighted all this time in the plan I was making for you, even when all you could see was the lack. I heard you ask if I had forgotten you down here. I heard you ask whether provision was for other people and not for you. I heard you wonder, in the most secret place in your heart, if all your sacrifice had been for nothing. Tonight I have come to answer every one of those questions with my own voice. You were never forgotten. Your lack was never a sign that I looked away, and your struggle was never a verdict on your worth. If you feel even the smallest stirring right now, that quiet sense that something true is finally being spoken over your situation. Type the word Amen in the comments. Not for anyone else, as your own voice out loud, receiving what heaven is doing tonight. Do it now. Now, I need to tell you something that will change the way you have understood this whole long season of not enough. Because there is more happening in your circumstances than you have been able to see, and there has been all along. The enemy has been terrified of this night. He fought to keep you discouraged about your provision because he knows something you have forgotten. He knows that when your hands are finally full again, you will not hoard it. You will pour it out. You will bless everyone around you. You will become a river of provision to others. So he whispered that you would always be behind. He whispered that people like you do not get their breakthrough. He whispered that you should stop hoping, because hope only makes the disappointment sharper. But hear me, and let this break the lie in half. Your empty hands were never a sign that I forgot you. They were the space I was saving to fill. I do not fill what is already full. I pour into what is empty. And all this long season, while you looked at your open, empty hands and felt only the ache of them, I was looking at the same hands and seeing room. Room for what I'm about to give. The emptiness you grieved was the very thing that made space for the abundance that is coming. Understand what this means about the lean years themselves. They were never proof that I had abandoned you. They were the season I was drawing closest, sitting with you at that table, learning the shape of your need so that what I bring would fit it exactly. The world measures my favor by how full your account is, but that is not how I measure my nearness at all. Some of my deepest work is done in the hardest seasons, in the quiet, where no one is watching but me. You thought the silence meant I had turned away. The silence was the sound of a table being prepared. And there is a reason the enemy fought so hard to keep you hopeless about money. He does not waste that kind of effort on a life that carries nothing. He fought because he could see what you could not, that on the other side of this provision is a version of you who gives generously, who lifts others out of the very pit you climbed out of, who becomes a source of blessing the darkness cannot afford. The size of the struggle was always a clue to the size of the calling. You were never being punished. You were being prepared for abundance and prepared to steward it well. Think of everything the lean years took from you, and hear what I'm about to say. I am able to redeem every part of it. The frugality the hard times taught you will make you a wise steward of what I'm about to give. The times you went without built a compassion in you that comfort never could have, so that when your hands are full again, you will know exactly who to bless, because you remember what empty felt like. Nothing you endured was wasted. Not one lean month, not one swallowed no, not one prayer that seemed to go unanswered. In the unseen, I was weaving all of it into a story that does not end in scarcity, but in abundance. Not abundance hoarded, but abundance shared. And do not believe the lie that says your need is too small for me to notice or too large for me to meet. There is no bill that outranks my supply. There is no debt too deep for the God who owns everything. The same voice that told the ravens to feed the prophet, the same hands that multiplied a few loaves until thousands were full with baskets left over, are moving over your situation tonight. That is why the provision has felt so slow, not because I did not hear you, not because you were passed over, but because a table takes time to prepare. And that is what I have been doing in the unseen all this time. I have been setting a table for you, in the presence of everything that tried to defeat you, in the middle of the very lack that shamed you. I have been quietly laying a place with your name on it, preparing more than enough, so that when you finally sit down, you will know it could only have come from me. A seed that is buried looks, to the one waiting above the ground, exactly like nothing is happening. But under the soil, the whole harvest is being formed. That is what these lean years have been. Not neglect, not absence. A hidden work, in the dark, where you could not watch it grow. And a harvest does not come late because the farmer forgot the field. It comes in its season, at the appointed time, when what was planted is finally ready to break the surface. Your season has come. Everything you sowed in tears you are about to reap in joy. The drought was never the end of your story. The drought was the field being prepared for the harvest. If you believe your empty hands were never rejection, that heaven has been preparing a table for you all along, type the word yes right now. Do not wait until you feel sure. Faith speaks first. Type yes and let heaven hear it. Now let me tear down the lies the enemy has spoken over your provision one at a time. The enemy told you that you will always be behind. I say, I am about to set you ahead of where you ever thought you would be. The enemy told you that lack is your permanent portion. I say your portion is being changed tonight. The enemy told you that it is too late for your finances to turn around. I say I turn things around in a single day, and your day is coming. The enemy told you that you are alone in this struggle. I say I have been at that kitchen table with you every single night. The enemy told you that your best chances are behind you. I say your provision is not tied to your past. It is tied to my promise. The enemy told you that you will never get out from under it. I say I'm lifting the weight you could not lift yourself. The enemy told you that no one sees how hard you have worked. I say I have seen every hour, and I reward in the open what was done in the hidden place. The enemy told you that your prayers about money were beneath my notice. I say I heard every one, and I have already begun to answer. The enemy told you that provision is for other people. I say provision has your name on it tonight. The enemy told you that you will spend your last years counting pennies. I say I'm about to give you enough and more than enough. The enemy told you that your lack is a punishment. I say I am not punishing you. I am preparing you, and I remember your struggles only to reward them. The enemy told you that you are a burden. I say you are my beloved, and I am about to make you a blessing again. The enemy told you that the well has run dry for good. I say there is a table being set that you have not yet seen. The enemy told you to give up hoping so the disappointment would stop. I say your hope is about to become something you can hold in your hands. The enemy told you that the door is closed. I say I am the one who opens doors that no man can shut, and I am opening one now. The enemy told you that heaven had gone silent on your need. I say heaven was never silent. I was carrying you through the lean years toward the table I was setting all along. The enemy told you that you missed your season. I say your season is opening over you tonight. The enemy told you that you are not smart enough or young enough to turn it around. I say, I am not limited by your resume. I am moved by your faith. The enemy told you that everyone else got their break but you. I say your break has my fingerprints on it and it is on its way. The enemy told you that you should be ashamed of needing help. I say, there is no shame at my table, only welcome. The enemy told you that the numbers will never work. I say, I am the God who makes the numbers bow to my word. The enemy told you that you will die owing. I say, I am about to make you a lender and not a borrower, the head and not the tail. The enemy told you that the shame of your lack is who you are now. I say, I'm seating you in a place of honor in front of the very ones who overlooked you. The enemy told you that hope is a setup for more heartbreak. I say, the hope I give does not disappoint, because it rests on me and not on chance. The enemy told you that your children will inherit your struggle. I say I am breaking the pattern of lack in your family line, starting with you. The enemy told you that it is too late in your life for a fresh start. I say I specialize in restoring the years the locust ate. The enemy told you that you have prayed this prayer too many times to pray it again. I say pray it once more tonight, because tonight it is answered. The enemy told you that your dignity is gone because your money is gone. I say your worth was never in your bank account. It was always in whose child you are. The enemy told you that the good report will never come for you. I say I am the author of the report that overturns every other report. The enemy told you to prepare for the worst. I say prepare for the goodness that is already on its way. The enemy told you that you are at the end of your resources. I say you are only at the end of yours and the beginning of mine. The enemy told you that the door of opportunity is closed for someone your age. I say I open doors that no man can shut, and age has never once slowed my hand. The enemy told you that you will always be the one who asks and never the one who gives. I say I am about to move you to the other side of the table. The enemy told you that your storehouse will stay empty. I say I am opening the windows of heaven over it. The enemy told you that you have nothing left to hope for. I say, I am the God of more than enough, and more than enough is coming. The enemy told you that this is simply your lot in life. I say I am rewriting your lot with my own hand tonight. The enemy told you that you should lower what you expect from me. I say, lift it, because I am able to do far beyond anything you know how to ask. The enemy told you that money always runs out on you in the end. I say, I am about to teach your money to stay and to multiply. The enemy told you that you will never stop worrying. I say I am giving you a peace about your provision that does not wait for the balance to change. The enemy told you that you are forgotten in that quiet house with the bills on the counter. I say, I fill quiet houses with my abundance, and I am filling yours. The enemy told you that your story ends in lack. I say your story ends in my faithfulness, and my faithfulness has no bottom. The enemy told you that you have waited too long for it to matter now. I say what comes late by the world's clock is right on time by mine. The enemy told you that provision this size only happens to other kinds of people. I say I am no respecter of persons, and what I do for one I will do for you. The enemy told you to make peace with the struggle. I say make peace with the promise instead, because the struggle is ending tonight. So who will you believe, beloved? The voice that came only to keep you afraid and ashamed and small, or the voice of the one who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills and calls you his own? Choose now. Choose with your faith. Choose with your words. Choose me. Choose the table that has your name on it. Now let me tell you what I am releasing over your life, because I have not come with empty words. I have come with a table. Picture it, beloved. Not a bare table, not a scarce one, but a table spread wide, laid with more than you need, prepared for you in the very presence of everything that came against you. This is the table I have been setting while you wept over your empty hands, and I am inviting you to it now. Not someday. Now. There's a place with your name on it, and the chair has been empty this whole time, waiting for you. Everything the lack told you that you could never have, I have laid out in front of you. The enemy meant for you to starve at the very edge of my abundance. But I have prepared this table in the presence of everything that came against you, so that the same people and circumstances that watched you go without will watch you be filled. Within the next 5 days, you are going to see the first sign that the table is ready. It will not be loud. It may be small enough that only you notice it. An unexpected bit of relief, a cost that comes in lower than you feared, a little that stretches further than it should have. A door that opens a crack where before there was only a wall. Watch for it. Do not brush it off as a coincidence, and do not let the enemy tell you it would have happened anyway. It is the first plate being laid, the first small proof that the table is real and your name is on it. Do not try to work out how it will all happen. That is not your task tonight. I have more ways to provide than you have ever imagined, and I am not limited to the ones you already know. I can move through a person, or a door, or a decision made in a room you will never see. I can turn a no into a yes overnight. I can bring increase from a source you long ago stopped watching. Your part is not to figure out the how. Your part is to believe, and to keep your hands open, and to give thanks for the table, for you can see the food on it. Within the next 15 days, the provision will grow until you can no longer explain it as luck. Money will come from a direction you were not watching. Doors that were shut for years will open without you forcing a single one of them. People will show you unexpected favor and not fully understand why they feel moved to help you. Something you had written off long ago will come back to you. A provision you gave up praying for will quietly find its way home. These are not accidents, beloved. These are the courses of the meal being carried out, one after another, from the table I prepared. And receive it without striving, beloved. You do not have to earn this. You do not have to be strong enough, or good enough, or full of enough faith to deserve a seat at my table. A father does not make his child pay for supper. All I ask is that you come and sit and let yourself be provided for after all these years of providing for everyone else. Stop bracing for the next blow. Let your shoulders down. Unclench the hands that have held on so tightly for so long and hold them open instead, ready to receive. Within the next 45 days, prepare to sit down at a place of provision you did not think you would live to see. Not just enough to survive, but enough to breathe. Enough to give again, enough to rest, enough to stop lying awake doing the arithmetic in the dark. Enough that the fear that has followed you for years finally lets go of your chest. You will look back at the kitchen table where you once wept, and you will hardly recognize how far I have brought you from that night. And I am placing a real amount on that table, so that when it comes, you will know it was me. 11,500. I do not mean this as a symbol, and I do not mean it as a picture. I mean provision you can hold, provision that meets the very bills that have kept you awake. It may come as a debt forgiven, a check you did not expect, a settlement long given up on, a refund, a sale that finally goes through, an inheritance you did not know was there, a door of favor with someone in authority, or help arriving from a direction you never once thought to watch. Write this night down. Mark it. Because when it comes to you in a form you can count, you will know that what was spoken over you tonight was true, and that my word does not return to me empty. And do not despise the way it arrives. I rarely provide the way people expect. Sometimes it comes all at once, and sometimes it comes as one door after another, a little here and a little there, until you look up and realize the whole burden has lifted. However it comes, receive it as from my hand, and do not let anyone tell you it was only chance. And as you sit at this table, I am restoring something the lean years quietly stole from you, your peace and your dignity. No more lying awake doing the arithmetic in the dark. No more dread when the mail comes. No more shrinking at the register or rehearsing the words to ask for more time. I am lifting that whole weight off your chest, the weight you carried so long, you forgot it was there. You are going to breathe again. You are going to sleep through the night again. You are going to walk into a store and not feel the fear follow you in. That freedom is part of what I am setting on this table, and it is worth even more than the money. And I am not only moving in your money, because your money was never all of you. I am releasing strength back into your body, worn down by the stress of carrying this for so long, and you will feel the heaviness lift. I am releasing the right people into your path in the next 15 days, people with the means or the wisdom or the kindness to help open the door, sent by me on purpose. Watch for the new faces and receive their help without shame, because I am the one who sent them. You have spent so long being the one who helps that being helped feels strange to you, even wrong. But this season, I'm asking you to let yourself be carried for a while. There is no weakness in receiving the very help I sent. When someone offers, do not wave it away out of pride. Say yes and say thank you, because more often than you know, my hand is inside the hand that reaches for you. And I am releasing restoration into a relationship that the strain of money broke, where pride or hardship built a wall. Someone is being softened toward you even now. Reconciliation is coming to a place you thought was closed for good, because when the pressure of lack lifts, there will be room again for the love that the worry had crowded out. And I am releasing a future you stopped letting yourself imagine, not just enough to scrape by, but enough to live, enough to say yes to the grandchild, enough to bless the offering the way your heart always wanted to, enough to take the small trip to fix the thing you have put off for years, to open your hand without flinching. I am not merely subtracting your lack, beloved. I am giving you back a life with room in it. The years the scarcity tried to steal, I am restoring, and what I restore is always fuller than what was taken. But hear me, beloved, because this is where so many miss the very thing I am giving. None of this is automatic. It does not fall on you while you sit still and do nothing. Heaven has done its part. The table is set. The provision is prepared. The doors are ready to open. Now you must come and take your seat. You must reach out and receive. You must not let the enemy talk you out of it the moment this message ends. And do not tell yourself you will believe more fully once you see the money. That is backwards, beloved. The seeing comes after the believing, never before it. The widow's oil did not multiply until after she started pouring. The seat at the table is claimed by faith first, and the provision follows. So give your yes now, while heaven is leaning close, while the table is still spread and the chair is still pulled out for you. So type the number 777 in the comments right now. Before you read one more line, this is your signature over what heaven is doing. This is faith made visible, moved out of the silence of your heart and into the open. When you type it, understand you are not typing into an empty screen. You are answering the God who is setting a table with your name on it in front of everyone who ever doubted you would make it. Do it now. Type 777 and let your provision be tied to your obedience in this moment. And now I am asking you to do something that will let this provision flow far beyond your own table. Share this message with 3 people tonight. Not tomorrow, not later, 3 people. And their faces are already coming to your mind because I am the one bringing them to you. One of them is lying awake right now with the same arithmetic running through their head, the same fear about the end of the month. One of them has stopped believing their provision will ever come and has almost made peace with going without for good. One of them has been praying for a sign that heaven still remembers them, and you are about to be that sign. One of them needs, tonight, exactly what you have just received. When you send this to them, you are not forwarding a video. You are carrying a plate from my table to someone who is going hungry in the dark. You are letting the blessing you just received flow on to the next person, the way a full table is always meant to be shared, never hoarded. This is how my kingdom works. What you pour out for another, I pour back into you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over the edges more than you gave, in the very measure you use. The blessing you send toward another does not leave your table barer. It opens the way for more to be carried to it. You have known what it is to go without. That is exactly why I can trust you to bless others when your hands are full. And it is exactly why sending this to your 3 people tonight is not a small thing. It is you becoming, in this very moment, the answer to someone else's prayer. Think of the ones whose faces just came to your mind. Perhaps a friend who is quietly drowning in bills. Perhaps someone in your family who has stopped hoping. Perhaps a name you had not thought of in a long time, which is how I bring them to you. Those are your 3. Do not overthink it, and stay close to me. Follow this channel so that heaven can keep speaking over your life in the nights ahead. Do not let this be the last word you hear from me. There is more I want to say to you, more provision I want to announce, more mornings I want to meet you in. Subscribe and position yourself to keep receiving, so that every time I have a word for you, you will be near enough to hear it, and no message I send in the nights to come will pass you by. Stay close, the way you would stay close to someone whose voice has begun to bring you hope again. I know some of you are hesitating. You are thinking you will share it later, that you will wait and see if any money really comes first, and then believe. But that is not faith, beloved. That is fear dressed up as caution. Faith moves before it sees. The widow did not wait to see her jars filled before she poured out the last of her oil. She poured first, in obedience, and the oil did not stop until every empty vessel was full. Your provision is tied to what you do now, in these next few minutes, while heaven is leaning close and the table is spread. There is a reason you have stayed with me this far. When 100 worries were trying to pull you away tonight, something in you recognizes this is true. Something in you has been waiting a long time, longer than you would admit, to be told that your going without was seen and your provision was finally coming. Do not let that recognition drain away the moment the message ends. The enemy does not mind you feeling moved for a minute. He minds you acting on it. He will happily let the warmth fade if you do nothing with it. So do not only feel this. Move on it. Pour out your oil like the widow did. Take your seat at the table. Do the small act of faith while the door is still open. What you do in the next 5 minutes will shape what your life looks like in the next 5 months. So I ask you again, plainly, will you share this with the 3 people already on your heart so my provision can reach them too? Will you leave your amen below? Will you follow this channel and stay near my voice so you do not miss the next word I have for you? These are not small things. Each one is a seed. Each one is you taking your seat at the table. Each one is you agreeing out loud and in the open with the provision I am pouring out over you tonight. And when the provision comes, and it will, do not let anyone talk you out of what I did. Do not shrink it down to luck or coincidence. When the debt is cleared, when the check arrives, when the door opens, when the weight lifts off your chest, remember this night and give the glory where it belongs. You agreed with heaven tonight, and heaven does not forget an agreement. What you declared over your own life, watch it come to pass. Remember this, beloved, and never let it go. I never speak a word without meaning it. I never make a promise I do not intend to keep. Everything I have said over your life tonight was said on purpose over you by name at the exact hour you needed to hear it. It is already prepared in the unseen. It only waits now for your faith to draw it into the life you are living. So here's your choice. You can set the phone down and go back to the same thin nights and the same quiet dread and the same voice that says nothing will ever change. Or you can take heaven at its word tonight and come to the table that has already been set for you. Leave your empty hands open a moment longer. Feel the space in them and know that space is not a curse. It is room for what is coming. Leave your amen. Share this with your 3 people. Follow and stay close to me. You are loved beyond anything anyone has ever told you. You are seen in the very place you thought no one was looking. You are held even now in the hands of the God who owns everything and calls you his own. And the going without that you carried so quietly for so long was never the end of your story. It was the setting of a table. In the next 5 days, watch for the first sign. In the next 15 days, expect the provision to grow. In the next 45 days, prepare to sit down at a table you did not think you would see. This is not hype. This is a word spoken over you from heaven, and it will come to pass as you believe it and act on it. Do you feel it, even now, that lightness where the weight has sat for so long? That is not your imagination. That is heaven settling over your situation. That is a chair being pulled out for you at a table you cannot yet see. Hold on to this feeling. Remember it. Because in the days ahead, when the first sign comes and then the second, you will trace it all the way back to this night, and you will know this was where everything began to turn. Lift your head, beloved. The one the world overlooked, heaven has bent low to provide for. You are not defined by what is in your account. You are not the sum of your bills, and you never were. The numbers on a page were never the measure of your worth to me. You are my child, watched over every hour, and about to be seated at a table I prepared with my own hands. You were never forgotten. Your going without was always seen, and tonight the table is spread. No more thin nights, no more dread when the mail comes, no more believing the lie that you were passed over while everyone else was fed. The waiting is turning into receiving, and the lack is turning into more than enough, and the shame is turning into a seat of honor, right here, right now. Open your hands and say these words with me. A table is set for me. Do not let this moment pass. This is your night. This is the hour the long season of not enough finally turns. This is the answer to the prayer you were almost too tired to pray again. Everything that was withheld is being released. Everything that was delayed is coming to your door. Everything you sowed in the lean years is about to be reaped at a table with your name on it. I am with you, I am for you, and I will finish the work I have started in you. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Now leave your amen. Share this with 3 people so my provision can reach them, and follow this channel if you believe I just spoke over your life tonight.